So this is Mark chapter 7, verses 31 through to 37. And it says, "Again he went out from the region of Tyre and came through Sidon to the Sea of Galilee, within the region of the Decapolis. They brought to him one who was deaf and spoke with difficulty, and they implored him to lay his hand on him. Jesus took him aside from the crowd by himself and put his fingers into his ears, and after spitting, he touched his tongue with the saliva, and looking up to heaven with a deep sigh, he said to him, 'Ephphatha,' that is, be opened. And his ears were opened, and the impediment of his tongue was removed, and he began to speak plainly. And he gave them orders not to tell anyone, but the more he ordered them, the more widely they continued to proclaim it. They were utterly astonished, saying, 'He has done all things well. He makes even the deaf to hear and the mute to speak.'" So this is the Lord Jesus. He comes down from Tyre and Sidon in Gentile country, and he goes to the east side of Galilee, to the Decapolis, which is kind of Gentile country. If it's not Gentile country, it's kind of a mixture. And he comes down there, and they bring this man to him, and Jesus takes the man aside, and he does this amazing thing. He first of all, he puts his fingers in the man's ears, and then he spits and touches his tongue with saliva. I don't know whether Jesus spat on his hand and just touched his tongue. I don't know. And then he said, "Be opened." And his ears were opened. And he started to speak plainly. It's just a kind of Mark throughout his gospel here. He's continuously saying that Jesus went around doing good, healing the sick, and doing amazing miracles. And this is a phenomenal one. And then he gave them orders not to tell anyone, but the more he ordered them not to say, the more widely they continued to proclaim it. It was as if he kind of let the cat out of the bag, and the message just went everywhere. And the people were astonished. And they said, "He's done all things well." Now, I don't know what that means. Of course, healing somebody who is deaf and a mute or has a speech impediment is a wonderful thing to do. But they said he's done all things well. There's no kind of hint that you'd say, well, that was good, but he could have done this better. But no, for the Lord Jesus, everywhere he went, he did everything well. The way he responded to the individuals, he did that well. The way he healed, he did that well. The way he spoke to the person after they'd been healed, he did that well. The way he cared for people, he did that well. The way he spoke, everything that he did, he did it well. And they said, on top of it all, on top of everything that he does so well, his teaching, his healing, his kindness, his gentleness, his generosity, on top of that, he even makes the deaf to hear and the mute to hear. Jesus wasn't just kind and nice and gentle and a good person. The power of God was with him, and deaf people, their hearing came back. People who had speech impediments, Jesus healed them, and they could speak clearly and properly. He does everything well.